How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Milk Podcast, episode number 327. Welcome back to my magnificent show that we have on the yearly. Anyways, welcome. How are you all doing? Hope you all are having an absolute swell day. Hopefully nobody's pranked you too hard today. But yeah, of course, it's always a safe haven here on the Milk Podcast. Always going to be. So this year, I decided to do some things a little different, because my first year, I decided to do a live stream and, just say milk facts. Second year, decided to say more milk facts, but in a video format and chocolate edition, So I decided this year, you know what? I'm going to go back to video style again, but I'm actually going to make this more of a real podcast and, talk about actual stuff, not only milk facts. So it's going to be a little less memey this year. It's going to be a little more serious, but still, it's the Milk Podcast. You can't expect it to be 100% serious. So, anyways, though, hope you guys are all doing swell. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently myself, especially the H3 podcast, Frenemies, stuff like that. Also, Chuckle Sandwich is really, really funny. Definitely recommend checking them out. I really don't have a set plan or script or anything to talk about. It's really just off the top of my head. So if I wait for a little while, that's why. I'm probably going to end up cutting that out later on. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, so anyways, though, let's get on with the show. First topic I want to talk about is milk, of course. Now, recently I found out I have lactose intolerance, which sucks, honestly. It really sucks. Because, it's kind of obvious from the, having the show and all that I love milk. I'm a milk guy. What can I say? Chocolate, vanilla flavored, strawberry flavored, original milk, all good. Love milk, love dairy, love my cheese too. But I'm a cheese guy too. The only thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to cheese is cheese on its own. I'm fine with any kind of any cheese really, but if I just have that cheese on its own, I don't think it's good. Unless it's mozzarella is the exception. I don't mind any cheese. You hand me a slice of American, right? I'm not gonna eat it. That American's just gross on its own. But cook that into a grilled cheese, make yourself a grilled cheese, give that to me, I'm gonna eat it, dude. I love grilled cheese. So I'm not a big cheese eater just on its own. It's gotta be on something, or in something. So anyways, yeah, with the whole lactose intolerance thing, I gotta say, it's really sucked. I found out probably, I don't even know, maybe around the time I posted the last Milk Podcast. Because, I'm sure I've had it for longer. It's just I finally noticed that I've had it. I finally made the correlation. Oh, that's weird, I have a lot of dairy. My stomach starts to hurt. I end up going to the bathroom. Maybe it's related, So, basically, yeah. Kind of sucks. Found out I'm lactose intolerant, but that ain't gonna stop me. I'm still gonna drink my milk, still gonna eat my cheese, enjoy my dairy. You know how that is. And yes, there is actually stuff for me. I started getting lactose, or lactate, I haven't tried the milk. My sister used to drink the milk a lot because she's lactose intolerant too. And I don't know, I could never get into the milk itself. I just felt like it's too expensive, and it just honestly, the smell is just bad. A lot of people said that it smells like baby vomit. I wouldn't say it smells like that. Not that I know what baby vomit does smell like, but it definitely doesn't smell good, that's for sure. Compared to normal milk, you smell normal milk, it usually doesn't have a scent unless it's really going bad, so, Anyways, though, so I've been on Lactate recently. Now, here's the thing with me and pills. I've never had a good history with pills. I've never been much of a pill taker myself. I don't know, it's just, I've never really been good at taking pills, call me a baby, call me whatever, I don't care. I've just never really been that good at taking pills. Now, recently, I have gotten a lot better with me having to take, the occasional pain pills and stuff for headaches, whatever, I've been getting much better at taking pills, but for a long time in my life, I really struggled with taking pills. I remember I had this one tooth infection, and they had me taking, these freaking massive pills for it. And I literally wasted half the bottle trying to take my first dose. It was that bad. Because, I put on my tongue, go get some water, try to swallow it, fail, and would just end up gagging and spitting it out. So, me and pills don't exactly get along, but I've gotten much better at it recently. Um, yeah, I mean, as long as the pill's not freaking enormous, like freaking galaxy-sized pill, Gigantamax. As long as it's not like that, I'm fine. Um, Thankfully, the lactate pills are actually they're pretty small. I'd say, I don't even know what's a good size reference. Maybe the size of like, I don't know, like, I don't even know, dude. I don't know, like a couple like beads put next together, just like little tiny circles basically put next together. Um, well, anyways, though, I mean, my point is they're pretty small, so I can handle them pretty well. Um, Now, recently, actually, my dad, I don't know if it's for like his like disability or whatever, but recently he actually got this some kind of like healthcare thing where he's allowed to spend every like 3 or 4 months. I don't remember what the refresh date is, but every 3 or 4 months he can spend up to $200 on anything medical related. Like, it can be pills, it can be, I don't know, Q-tips, you know. I don't think toilet paper counts, but you get what I mean. Like, just general medical, like healthcare products, stuff like that, for free. He gets $200 a month to just spend on whatever that he needs for that. So that's pretty cool, if you ask me. He a little bit of side story from that. He bought 4 boxes of 500 Q-tips, and I looked at him. I said, "Why? Why do we need this many Q-tips?" And he said, it doesn't seem like that many when you're looking at it online. It doesn't look like it's that many, but when you actually get it, it is. So, we ended up having a lot of Q-tips. Basically, we ended up actually giving 2 boxes to my sister and her boyfriend because we're like, we are not going to use 2,000 Q-tips, at least not right now. We still have some left over, but we didn't exactly plan to end up using 2,000 Q-tips anytime soon. So, but yeah, no. So my point with the story, though, is he actually ended up being able to buy my Lactaid with it, and he's able to buy everything he needs. So he's like, okay, yeah, I'll get you your Lactaid too. You need it, why not? So he actually got me. It's like a generic brand, but it works just as well, honestly. I forgot what it's called. I'm trying to look at it right now. Equate fast acting dairy relief. Basically, they're like dime to like nickel size little tablets. They're chewable, which me not being able to take pills is really appreciating. They're vanilla flavor. They're actually not bad. Some of them, though, they either have too much vanilla flavoring, so it's like overpowering, and other ones have too little, so you taste like the chemicals and all the gross stuff in there. So you gotta just hope that you get a good pill and just start munching on that. But I mean, they're pretty good, though, actually, considering the fact that they're just like flavored like medical things. They're actually not too bad. So definitely recommend it. I usually take around 2 of those at a time, and they last for like half an hour to an hour, pretty much same as Lactaid, except they're chewable. So, and honestly, I have a little bit of a story with Lactaid. Okay, so this is when I first got the Lactaid for the first time. I got my Lactaid. I was all happy and all that, finally can have dairy again without the consequences of going to the bathroom for an hour. So here's what I did. I had some Lactaid, read up how to use it, take 2 pills at a time usually because I eat a lot of dairy. So I go and I take the Lactaid. And then the next day I take more Lactaid. And the next day I take more. And for a week I take like 1 or 2 Lactaid every day. Maybe even 3 to 4, depending on how much dairy I have. My point is, I had a lot of Lactaid in a week. Next week starts, wake up, stomach hurts. Stomach in so much pain. I'm like, what the like I wake up 10 a.m., dude. Stomach hurting worse than it's ever been. Like what the hell is happening, dude? Turns out, I've learned, you shouldn't take that much Lactaid in a week. You shouldn't use almost a whole box in a week. So basically, to put a long story short, if you take Lactaid, don't use too much, otherwise things get a little stuck up over there, you know? So be careful with that. Be careful. I've learned my lesson. When I stopped taking the lactate after that, I finally made the connection. It took like a week of me being in a lot of pain every morning. It sucked. But, you know, once I finally connected the dots, I realized, oh, I've been taking a lot of lactate. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. And then things started to get better. And now I don't have that anymore, thankfully. So I'm definitely trying to, you know, space out when I use my lactate now. Like I try to only do it like a couple days a week, you know. And then some weeks I don't even use lactate because sometimes I just straight up don't feel like it, you know. I'm just like, I'll just let things play out as they should. And it never goes well. I should learn my lesson, but, you know, whatever. I don't want to risk the pain in the morning again, you know, so. That's my story about lactate. It's very, very effective. It's actually really good. You know, I was honestly kind of skeptical about it, but in all honesty, it really is good, and it works really well, so, yeah. On the topic of dairy and stuff, last Thursday, my dad taught me how to make his famous cheesecakes. Now, this was a big W, I gotta say, it really was, because I've been wanting to learn how to make his cheesecakes for a long time. Like, pretty much since I was in middle school, I want to say, but the thing is that when I was in middle school, I didn't really care as much about learning it. Like, I wanted to know it, but I don't know, I just never really got around to actually learning it. And so the fact now that I, like, actually have learned it and know the recipe, it's really cool, and I'm really happy. Because I want to say, it was like, I think it was the day after Christmas. What happened was my dad had a pretty bad heart attack, like a massive heart attack, because me and my girlfriend, we shoveled that morning. We did the driveway, we did everything that we usually do, but since it was snowing a lot around that time, we were like, we're not going to do the stuff that my dad usually does, like the mailman path or the path for the trash cans, because that's just a lot of work, and it's probably just going to get covered up the next day anyways, so why bother, you know what I mean? So anyways, me and my girlfriend, my mom was at work, my sisters moved out, and me and my girlfriend, we were going to Dave & Buster's. So her parents went and picked me and her up, so my dad was home alone. And for whatever reason, he decided to get out the snowblower and do the mailman path and the trash can path. And when he was by the street, and like pretty much right next to the street where the trash cans go, he just fell over sideways, I guess. But thankfully, my neighbors actually saw it, and he quickly rushed over to, this part's kind of funny. He rushed over to my neighbor's house, who's good friends with my dad, and he's like, hey, Dave's on the ground, come on. And then his friend comes over, and he kicks him. He's like, hey, you're playing, aren't you? And he kicks him. He's like, hey. And then they realized it was serious, so like, oh, crap. And so then they started doing CPR on him and stuff, and, you know, they called up an ambulance and all that. And so pretty much me and my girlfriend's family, we went to Dave & Buster's. We're out there eating. You know, I had a burger and fries and stuff. Honestly, the burger really wasn't that good. Like, I'm sorry, Dave & Buster's, but it really wasn't that good. But, yeah, so we get done eating. We're at the desk about to, you know, get cards to play games. I get a call from my mom. I'm like, who's calling me? What the heck? And I get a call. Well, it's from my dad's cell phone. So I was like, oh, okay. He's probably going to tell me to go do something when I get home or, like, whatever. So I pick up, and it's my mom. I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird. And then she's like, hey, Dad had a heart attack. He's, you know, in the hospital right now. Or he's going to the hospital. And then she's like, I don't know if you want to come home or come over or what. But, yeah. And then so I was like, oh. Okay. Because I really didn't know what to do. And then I told my girlfriend and her parents about it. And then her mom was in, like, almost as much shock as I was. You know, everyone was in kind of shock about it. So, like, you know, in shock, she's like, so do you want to go to the hospital? And I was like, yeah, I mean, if you guys wouldn't mind. But, like, looking back on it, she was like, yeah, I'm sorry I said that. You know, obviously I knew you probably wanted to go. And I was like, listen, I don't want to bug you guys and say, yes, we have to go. But anyways, though, yeah, thankfully he's all fine now. Also, shout out to this dumbass nurse, too. Literally, like, I don't even remember what day he was in the hospital. It was like 2 or 3 days after he was in there. The one nurse, I guess she called my mom, right? While I was at work, and I already had plans to go up and visit the hospital. So I was like, okay, after work, I went up to the hospital because it's literally on my way home. So why not, go visit my dad if I can. So, and this was, I don't think he was fully awake, but I still wanted to, see him, visit him, make sure things are going good, all that. So I go up there, and eventually after enough asking around and finding stuff and just going off what I already knew, I finally knew where I needed to go. So I asked one more nurse, and she's just like, yeah, sorry, I can't, have any visitors. I was like, dang, okay, whatever. So then I went back down the elevator all sad, went home all sad. I was like, whatever, I'll see him sometime soon, probably. Corona was making things a lot stricter for that, so I can't say I was really mad at them, but I was a little upset by it. Anyways, though, so I come home, my mom's crying. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, yeah, the hospital called. They said they don't think Dad's going to make it. And that hit me like a wall of bricks, you know what I mean? Like, it really does make you respect, like, people that you live with a lot more when you hear that you don't think they're going to make it, because you're like, oh, shit, Like, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's literally an oh, shit moment, And so me and my mom, we were just destroyed by that the whole day. In fact, even I told my girlfriend, and she was so sad too. And, she came over and, she was like comforting me and all that. And yeah, it just wasn't a good day. Turns out the next day they say, yeah, he's doing really well. He's doing better. And so we're all happy and stuff. And, just like every day it started getting better and better. And so, that was really good and all that. Anyway, so shout out to that dumbass nurse for being such an idiot. There's like a certain level of stupidity and ignorance that she just had, and it's like, how dare she say that? You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, like, my mom was saying, she's like, she should have known, because she was a nurse at one point when she was younger. My mom was a nurse in the past. She's like, I should have known, after being a nurse, you don't always know everything that's going on, And it's like, because my mom kept hearing two separate things from different nurses. Like, one was like, oh, he's going to die. And the other one's like, oh, he's doing amazing. He's doing great. So it's like, like, it's hard to tell who to trust or what to do. So anyways, though, shout out to her. F her, dude. Screw her. Bad nurse. She should be demoted. She should be making McDonald's money now. So if you ask me, that's what should happen, Because seriously, though, like, after what she put us through, like, making us think that my dad wasn't going to make it, it's just insane, And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the reason why I brought this whole thing up was because of his cheesecakes and all that. It's, like, he's known for his cheesecakes, and sure, you can read a recipe, but having him teach me like he did last Thursday is so much better. Because reading a recipe, it's very strict. It's this. But for, him to teach me, he's like, it's not precise. You just add in a little this, little that, bam, you're done. So I guess basically just the whole moral of the story was, I'm glad that I got to learn it before, he's gone and all that. And it definitely made me appreciate him a lot more. And yeah, I'm glad I'm able to kind of carry on that. I don't know if I'd call it a tradition or whatever you'd say, recipe. I don't know. Anyways, though, yes, trust me, I've been making lots of cheesecakes recently, and I'm sorry to upset anybody with that story, Don't worry, he's doing fine now. Definitely, my neighbors, we thank them a ton, and now, honestly, me and them are really good friends. So, yes. Kind of sucks that that's how it had to happen, but hey, I guess you make some friends along the way. I just remember, like, I didn't want to tell people too soon, because I was afraid of what, actually happening, where it was like people say like, oh, he's not going to make it. And then like the next day be like, never mind, he's fine. Like I didn't want to screw with anybody that bad, but things really did seem like really, really bad and really, really bleak. So I'm glad things didn't quite work out that way. But yeah, no, so I'm glad I did get to learn that recipe after all. And yeah, my neighbor, who, like I said, I'm really good friends with, just the other day he told me that his grandma's not doing too well, and so they helped us a lot. Like when my dad was in the hospital and all that, they kept checking up, making sure we're okay, making sure he's okay, all that. And they even made us lasagna one night, like New Year's night, I think it was they did so many nice things for us. I just felt like you got to repay the favor. So I asked my dad to teach me how to make his cheesecakes, and I made them a strawberry and a peanut butter one, because I remember his mom loved the peanut butter and he loved, his mom loved the strawberry and he loved the peanut butter. Peanut butter one is my favorite personally too, so I think he made a good choice. But the strawberry one's pretty banging. But yeah, no, I can't lie though. The strawberry one is kind of a pain to make. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's a bit of a pain to make, just because you have to cut up strawberries. You have to get 12 pieces that look, I wouldn't say perfect, but look good. You know what I mean? Without any holes. They're evenly sliced, all that, and then the rest you just cut up into fourths and just throw them in a bowl with a strawberry glaze, and that's that filling. So it's that one's probably one of the most pain ones to do. The other one's not so bad, but that one is kind of a pain to do. So I mean, hey, though, like I said, definitely wanted to repay them the favor. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, I did like the hardest one, so I should get credit for that. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that's my own personal woes. It's just that the the strawberry one is just not fun to make. I can't lie. It's just cutting up that many strawberries is not fun. So yeah, so I'm glad I know his recipe now. Like I said, I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but on the bright side also, after I did deliver those cheesecakes to my buddy across the street, he did tell me that his grandma is actually doing much better now. So things are good, all is well, for now at least. So definitely that's good. I'm glad that things are going better for him now, so. Yeah, no, trust me, I started going crazy with the cheesecakes, because not only did I make 2 for my neighbor across the street, my neighbors, I also ended up making 4 for some of my coworkers, my supervisors, because I'm not going to lie, they're always doing nice things for me. They're all really nice people. Honestly, if I could, I genuinely would have made a cheesecake for literally every person that works there. But, 1, that would be too much money, and 2, that's a lot of work, considering one cheesecake can take like, I don't even know, like half an hour to an hour, maybe more like 45 minutes-ish. But like, the point is, a lot of work goes into one cheesecake. Imagine having to make like, I don't even know, like 40, you know what I mean? So it would be a lot of work and a lot of money. But like I said, everyone at my work is really super nice, and they're all amazing people, and I totally would have if I could have. But I figured I should probably do ones for my supervisors, because seriously, they're always doing nice things for me. Like legit, this is my first and only job so far, and I'd honestly love to keep it just for a long time. I'm not saying that's why I made them the cheesecakes. I'm saying that like they're always helping me out, like I made 4 cheesecakes, so 2 of them asked for cookies and cream, and the other 2 asked for peanut butter. I gotta say, honestly, the people who chose peanut butter, they made a really good choice, dude. I freaking love the peanut butter cheesecake recipe, dude. It's so good. It's amazing. Yeah, so I wanted to make them cheesecakes, not to be a suck up or a kiss ass or whatever, Like, I don't want that to be the case. I'm not doing it just to, get some credit here, get some credit there. Maybe they'll put me in some better trucks, I'm not trying to do it for that. Like, they've always helped me. Like, for example, the one, I'm not going to say any of their names just for privacy reasons, but the one, he introduced me to a group that I've been listening to a lot of their music, and he's also one of the OGs. He's one of the guys who helped train me. He introduced me to the music that I like now a lot, and he's also helped me with a lot of questions I've had about the company and stuff like that. The other one, he actually wasn't a supervisor. Like, originally when I first started working there, he was just another coworker of mine. and he would always help me, like, this is gonna sound kind of dumb, but he'd help me pick out like Apple products and stuff that I wanted, you know? Like, for example, like, I was asking him if I should get AirPods, and I eventually, decided yes, so got AirPods. Trust me, that was a very good decision. I'm not in any way sponsored by Apple or AirPods or anything, but I gotta say, I really genuinely do love my AirPod Pros. They're perfect for my job, and just really good for listening to music just in general, too, honestly. They really are. I'm not gonna say they're the perfect headphones, because they were $200 basically. It's a lot of money for headphones, but they are very good, and they've lasted me a good long while so far, so definitely really happy with them. But yeah, so my one supervisor, he's really, really good at helping me answer Apple questions that I've had and stuff, and just, he's always just been a cool guy in general too. My one other supervisor, he's honestly one of my favorites. I don't know, he's one of like the OG guys that trained me. It was the first guy and then him. They both were like the OGs. They both trained me, and he's given me lots of advice about the company, and I don't know, he's a cool guy. He's honestly probably one of my favorites. Like, I don't want to like pick favorites or whatever supervisor wise, but like, he's honestly one of the cooler ones, just because I don't know, he feels a lot more chill to talk to. I don't know, there's just something about him. Like, he's always smiling. He's always just been a cool guy, and probably one of my favorites. And I mean, I'm with him all the time now, because originally they had me down in like the first, like the lowest section with the one guy, but recently they've had me at like the highest section now with this guy. So yeah, no, he's definitely helped me a lot. He's given me a lot of advice about what I should do with the company and stuff like that, and in terms of moving up and all that. And then lastly, but not the least, is my other supervisor who, he's always been really cool. He's also given me tons of advice, and anytime I ask him a question or anything about the company that I need to know or want to know, he will legitimately, he'll get back to me either the next day or later that same day. Like, he's always, just been a homie. He's always doing stuff for me, and just in general helping out a lot. So, all these guys have definitely, had my back. So I figured, do something in return for them. Like, I can't say that we're close enough where I could take him out to like dinner, just like a couple of buds, not like in a weird way or anything. Like, just take him out, buy him a burger or whatever. I can't say we're that close that we hang out outside of work or whatever, but I definitely want to do something for him. And I figured, just learning my dad's cheesecake recipes, why not make him cheesecakes? In hindsight, I probably should have made each of them, since I made like 2 of each kind. I probably should have made each of them just one and had him share it, but hey, I don't mind making a couple extra, you know what I mean? I didn't have any problem with that. I was glad everyone got to take their cheesecakes home, and honestly, it was kind of a miracle that they even got to work, like, genuinely, because the night before I only got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then I had to leave for work even earlier so I could go up to the store, buy them little forks and plates, and then buy ice to actually put the cheesecakes in so that they don't get too warm, because they only last about an hour and a half unchilled before you gotta refrigerate them and all that again. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle that day, but hey, it all happened, it all worked. It was kind of funny, because as I was leaving, I had my big cooler that I brought those in. I was taking my cooler out, and the security guard, she looks at me and she goes, "Okay, what the hell? Are you having a picnic at work?" I'm like, and I was just like, "No, dude, no. I just brought in cheesecakes for my supervisors." She's like, "Oh, cheesecakes? You didn't bring me one. Okay, don't forget, tomorrow you bring me one." I'm like, "All right, fine." That's fair. So, yeah. Yeah, so definitely I was really happy that I was able to give them all their cheesecakes. They all seemed to really, really enjoy them. I'm glad they did too, because, I even checked with them the next day. I was like, "You guys liked them, right?" Because my whole thing was, I didn't want to make them cheesecakes, then have them be like, "Oh, great." Like, I go, like, make more in the future for them, and then they're like, "Oh, great, my favorite." thanks, you know? So, yeah, I am glad that they enjoyed them, had a good time with them, so. It's not like, I want to make it clear that this cheesecake, it's not really like a family secret or anything. It's not like it's like under wraps, like I had to ask my dad for years how to make it. Like, because he's always offered to teach me. It's just, one, me not having the time or energy, and two, just when I do have the time or energy, just not really wanting to learn it. So the fact that I finally got to learn it is pretty awesome. And in fact, I even experimented a little too, you know, because that's how my dad said that he learned how to make the different flavors, because he originally actually learned it from a Cool Whip lid. I think he said it was a Cool Whip lid, or like cheesecake box or something. I don't know. I think it was a Cool Whip lid. He said he learned the recipe from, and he just kind of experimented to make more flavors of it and stuff, more fillings, all that. So yeah, he puts a chocolate pudding in the peanut butter one, and when I was at work, I didn't know all the ingredients I needed for the Oreo one. Otherwise, I would have just picked them up after work to make for my supervisors. But yeah, so I didn't know the ingredients, and I was thinking, you know, yeah, I'm gonna need pudding for that. And then when I came home, turns out I didn't need pudding. Thankfully, I went home first, then the store, so I didn't accidentally buy some. But I did have lots of leftover filling and stuff from all the cheesecakes I made, and so I figured, hey, I'll make one with my girlfriend too, you know? So I made an Oreo one with her, taught her how to make them, and I decided to add a little twist to it too, you know? Normally, we don't add the pudding to the Oreo one. You just do like the Oreo filling and all that, and just make it how you normally would. But I decided to add some pudding to this one, and I was just thinking about adding normal pudding, but then my dad was like, dude, you should get mint pudding. They have mint pudding. I was like, okay, that sounds like that'd be good. So me and my girlfriend, we went up to the store. Couldn't find any mint. The closest we got was a York peppermint patty one, which is pretty much mint, you know. And honestly, it said it was dark chocolate, and I'm going to be honest, I might get some hate for this, but I'm not the biggest York peppermint patty fan. So I was kind of like, all right, this might be good. This might be garbage. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. You know, you gotta try it to see. So we got it, and honestly, the pudding was really good. It didn't taste like dark chocolate, and the mint was very, very subtle, but it was there. It was good. Yeah, so ended up putting that in the Oreo cheesecake that we made, and honestly, it wasn't bad. It was not bad. Mint Oreo definitely worked pretty well. Let me see, what other milk-related stories do I have? Well, I don't really know if this is technically milk-related, but recently I had these Ghirardelli white chocolate filled with caramel squares. Not gonna lie, dude, they are heavenly, dude. They are amazing. I gotta say, I've never really been the biggest chocolate fan. Like, I'm kind of the same way with chocolate as I am with cheese. Like, I don't like chocolate just on its own. Like, if you give me like a Hershey bar, dude, no, that's just disgusting. But you put that on a s'more, or, you know, you put that in something, you know, melt the chocolate, whatever, great, you know. But I will admit, some of the higher quality chocolate brands like Ghirardelli and stuff like that, and Godiva, all those, dude, amazing chocolate, dude. That's actually chocolate that I will eat on its own. No, but these these white chocolate caramel squares are so freaking good, dude. I still have a bag left, and they were marked down too. People didn't buy these. They really missed out. All I gotta say is definitely check them out. If you like white chocolate, absolutely check them out. Personally, I've always loved white chocolate, because ever since I was a kid, it would be such like a good treat, like in my Christmas stocking or whatever, if I would get the white chocolate Kit Kats, like the little ones. Dude, oh my, that would be an amazing Christmas just for those. I've always loved the white chocolate Kit Kats. They've always been my favorites. I do like the OG Kit Kats, but the white chocolate ones are just heavenly. They're amazing. They're just, I can't even think of the right words to describe it. They're just so good, dude. And as for dark chocolate on the other side of the spectrum, I've never been a fan of. I don't know, it's so bitter, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know? I don't like dark chocolate. Actually, I remember one time, me and a couple of my friends, we were playing a game of Truth or Dare. Nothing scandalous, don't worry. It wasn't like kissing like they do in movies and stuff. It was like stupid things. So like, we decided, you know, I've made it vocal I don't like dark chocolate. And they had me eat 10 dark chocolate Hershey Kisses. And I decided, okay, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to do them all at once. Turns out I actually couldn't do them all at once. So I did like 5 at a time. And it was awful. probably one of the worst experiences. Almost threw up a couple times. It was not good, not good. It's just, I don't think I can ever eat dark chocolate again, because like I could barely stand it as it is. Now I had to eat 10 dark chocolate Hershey Kisses, so what, I can't say I particularly like dark chocolate anymore. So yeah, that's where that is. Milk chocolate I'm fine with. You know, milk chocolate can be good or bad. It depends what company's making it. But yeah, no, just white chocolate Kit Kat's always been my favorite. Always, always, always. Well, speaking of chocolate, I guess, the other day I went over to my friend's house, and he made chocolate milk in the weirdest way I think I've ever seen anybody make chocolate milk. He took, okay, so you know how most normal people, right? Most normal people, they get their glass, they pour the milk in, they pour in their chocolate syrup, or powder, whatever they use. In this case, it was syrup. So, you know, they pour in the syrup, stir it up, drink up. Good time, right? No, that's not what he did. You know what he did? He took the glass, he poured the chocolate syrup around the rim of it and just watched it drip down. And he poured the chocolate syrup in the cup first, around the rim, watched it drip down, and then poured in the milk, and then stirred it with a butter knife. And like, it was really cursed, honestly. It was, and like even after he stirred it up, there were still like the chocolate streaks on the outside of the glass. It was just gross to watch. And then the funny part too is that he chugged it, and I was like, dude, you can't chug chocolate milk. You gotta sip it, dude. It's a special drink. You gotta have it on special occasions. You know, you gotta sip it. And he was like, nah, man, I chugged it. That was good. I was like, all right. And then not even 5 minutes later, he says, hold on, I'm going to go puke. And I said, what? And then he goes to the bathroom, and I just hear him puking from the other room. I'm like, what the... What? He wasn't joking. He literally chugged the glass of milk. 5 minutes later, threw it all back up. It was so funny, honestly. And the same thing happened later, too. He did it again. He never learned. And then his one other friend was over too, and he just looks at me and he goes, you know, this happens a lot more than you would think. And I'm like, is he just like puking all the time? He's just constantly chugging stuff and then throwing it back up? Like, what? Like, I mean, I get it. I chug a lot of drinks too, but like, dude. I gotta say though, when it comes to milk, probably one of my favorite flavors is strawberry. It's always been strawberry. You know, like in the lunch lines at school, how they used to have the different colored boxes. You know, like I would see people sometimes pick out like the fat-free stuff, or like they'd pick out, most people would pick out the chocolate. Most sane people would pick out the chocolate, you know. And there'd be a couple weirdos that would pick the OG milk. Nothing wrong with OG milk. I don't have any issues with that. I'm just saying, when you have the option, it's kind of weird to pick the original. So, anyways, so most people would pick the chocolate milk because that was the best one. I, however, would pick the strawberry milk. Now, back then, it was a little bit of a gender thing, you know. If you were a boy, you'd probably get the chocolate milk. If you were a girl, you could have the chocolate milk, but also the strawberry milk was an option too. I was one of the only boys who got the strawberry milk, and I didn't care. I loved it. I loved the strawberry milk, you know. It's always been my favorite, still is. And just strawberry milk, dude, that's where it's at. Chocolate, definitely good, but strawberry, that's definitely where it's at, I gotta say. Now, in terms of like strange flavors of milk, I don't even know if I'd say strange, like in different flavors of milk, I've always liked the Horizon milk, like the vanilla flavored one, dude. Like, when we're not talking about strawberry or chocolate, dude, the vanilla one, oh, dude, so good, so good. You wouldn't think, you know, milk with a little bit of vanilla flavoring would be that good, but it really is, surprisingly. It's like, it's got such an interesting taste that it's so good. Here's actually a little milk life hack for you guys. This is going to be one of the few informational parts of this podcast, is that not always, but sometimes, some grocery stores actually put like the newer milk in the back, like the milk that'll be like dated for like, you know, like a couple weeks in the future, you know, from, you know, the expiration date, I mean. You know, they'll put those in the back. So actually, if you want to have your milk last longer, just you might have to do a little bit of digging. People might look at you like you're crazy going through all the milk like that. But sometimes, if you're lucky, you can find milk that's actually going to last a lot longer in the back. With my grocery store, I can't say I've, actually gotten that to work, because either people already know that life hack or my grocery store doesn't do that. I don't know, but definitely a little milk life hack for you guys. Also, speaking of milk related things, I actually learned a recipe a couple of years ago that I don't remember exactly, but it was how to make the Burger King vanilla milkshakes. Now, I've always liked the Burger King vanilla milkshakes. There's just something about them that's like different. It's like sweeter. It's a little bit better, The chocolate one's always a little bit, I don't want to say bitter, but it's, a little less sweet. I found out the other day because I looked up a recipe for it online, and this recipe actually had me add I don't even remember, it was like a quarter cup of sugar. It was like you take ice cream, milk, and like a quarter cup of sugar, put that in a blender, and that's your Burger King milkshake. I think there was even a little bit of vanilla in there too. I don't remember, but I remember hearing that. I was like, you know what? It makes sense. It really does. I gotta say, being lactose intolerant honestly does suck a lot, because I've recently figured out, okay, one of my favorite foods in the world is pizza. Now, it's taken me a really long time to figure that out. 20 years on this earth, and I finally understand my favorite food is pizza. Now, when I was younger, we used to love this I used to love this fried rice from this local Chinese restaurant. And I still do to this day. I still really love their rice. I don't know what they do with their fried rice. It's exquisite. It's amazing, dude. I don't know what they do. It's a place called China House. Very good fried rice. Absolutely amazing. Now, I have always loved that. But the thing is, pizza, recently I've realized pizza is just so good. Pizza's god tier. I think the past couple of years I've been in a huge burger phase, I thought my favorite food was burgers. I remember when I was a kid, I used to think my favorite food was steak. Then I moved on to burgers. Now I've moved on to pizza. I'm the stereotypical American guy, but it's true though. It's true. I love pizza. I really do. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta say, favorite pizza is one of two places. Either there's this local place. Well, actually, it's not that local. It's half an hour away from me, but it's called Mamma Mia's. They have really, really good pizza, and my dad used to work there when he was younger, and he loves their pizza. And probably the second best is this place Angelina's, which is a lot closer, maybe more like a 10-15 minute drive. They make really bomb pizzas. They're almost the same as Mamma Mia's. My dad said they used to actually work right across the street from each other, and they pretty much had almost the same recipe, same blend of cheeses and sauce and all that. So both of their recipes are very, very similar, so it's hard for me to pick a favorite out of the two, but I gotta say probably Angelina's, just because it's a little bit closer, And Angelina's pizza is so good. It's just, they have a very interesting blend of cheese. Most pizza places just go for mozzarella, and that's it, Maybe they'll do a little blend here, there, whatever, But definitely Angelina's. If you guys have ever had it, you'll know. It's amazing. Another pizza that I really love is the Little Caesars pretzel pizza. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I remember a couple years ago we got it. I loved it. My dad was getting it a lot. And then eventually we stopped getting it, and I think it was just over. But a couple weeks ago, I saw there was an ad for it on TV again. It's pretzel pizza's back. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. We got to get some. And then this Saturday, I bring my girlfriend over, and this is when we made the cheesecakes, and we just went to my grocery store to go get the mint pudding, and then we went to McDonald's because she really wanted to go. She was like, I'll pay. I'm like, okay, fine, I guess. So we went to McDonald's, come home. My dad's like, hey, I got a surprise for you guys. Look, in the kitchen. So we go in there, and he got the Little Caesars pretzel pizzas. I'm like, screw the McDonald's, dude. I love McDonald's, but I can get that anytime, dude. This pretzel pizza, limited time. So I enjoyed my pretzel pizza. And because I'm a big fatty, I also ate the McDonald's too. Kind of regretted eating that much food later, but it was really good. It was all really good. But yeah, no, just Little Caesars pretzel pizza is so good. I'm so upset too because my dad said he was talking to the guy and the guy literally said, "Yeah, tomorrow is our last day of having it." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I was expecting it to be for like a week or two, but nope. I'm guessing what probably happened is it was around for a week and then I saw that ad and then that weekend was like the end of that ad basically, so I'm thinking I was just really late to the party, unfortunately. Maybe I gotta stay on top of the news a little better next time. Either way, though, their pretzel pizzas are definitely really good. They use like a, not quite a nacho cheese, but they use some kind of cheese sauce instead of like your stereotypical pizza sauce. And then the whole breading, like instead of like a dough, it's like a pretzel dough. And they like sprinkle big like chunks of salt on the outside. It's really good. Definitely very, very good. But yeah, no. I can't believe it took me so long to figure out that pizza is one of my favorite foods on the planet. But it really is, you know? Like, it's one of those foods that honestly I'm willing to not take my Lactaid for, you know? Like, because there are times when I just don't take my Lactaid, you know? Like I said earlier, some days I'm just like, no, I don't want to risk it. I've been taking a lot of Lactaid recently. I'll just go a day without it. And I'll regret it, of course, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And pizza is one of those foods where I don't mind not taking Lactaid for. You know, if it tastes good, whatever. Now, I do want to say about my lactose intolerance that I can actually tolerate a little bit at a time. Like, if I have a bowl of cereal in the morning, I'll be fine. Like, as long as I don't drink the milk. Like, if I just have a bowl of cereal, like, don't put in a lot of milk, don't drink the milk after I'm done, I'll be fine, you know? But if I do like I used to like to do and just get like a big tall like cup and just fill it to the brim with milk, no, dude, my stomach can't handle it anymore. It's too much for me, sadly. And it really sucks too, because I know there are so many people, like I've seen memes and stuff where people are like, ew, you freaking drinking milk just by itself, you're disgusting. And to those people I say, yes, I'm very disgusting and I will be willing to drink more milk in front of you just to bother you. Because listen, okay, I really don't care. You know, I love milk, dude. I love milk so much. And any dairy products. Arguably some of the best things to exist on this earth. I could never go vegan, I don't think. I mean, unless like a really, really, really good milk substitute exists, I don't think I could ever go vegan. Maybe I could do that for next year's milk podcast. I mean, the next episode, yeah, the next episode. No, but no, I'm thinking maybe I could like try different like dairy substitutes, like vegan stuff, you know? I think that would be interesting. That would make for an interesting video. I don't have the money or the time to do that this year, unfortunately, but next year, definitely. It might be an idea to keep on thinking about. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for this milk podcast. We've been going for close to an hour now. I don't want to make this ridiculously long, but at the same time, you know, I want to make it a little long. I want to make it a podcast, you know. Yeah, I mean, don't have a whole lot else to say, really. Mr. Beast was on one of our previous episodes. I think that was episode 325. Definitely go check that one out, because it totally exists. No, but yeah, though, I can't really think of any other stories to tell. Actually, I do have one more little thing to say. Okay, my uncle taught this to me. This is arguably one of the best recipes that I know. I call it a deluxe grilled cheese, although you can call it whatever you want. It's probably just a grilled cheese. But here's what you do. You take butter, you spread it on the outside of the bread, like the pan side of the bread on each side, and then on the inside of the bread you spread some mayo. It can be Miracle Whip or it can be real mayo, whatever you want, really. I like Miracle Whip, so that's what I do. And then, you know, you put on your 2 slices of American, and then you also throw in a piece or 2 of salami. And I know salami might sound kind of weird, but trust me, it actually works really well together. Then you just cook that like you would like a normal grilled cheese, you know. Get it till it's like kind of crispy on the one side, flip it, put the lid on the pan so that the cheese melts and all that. and just cook it till it's golden brown. And man, you got yourself a delicious grilled cheese. I'm not even much of a mayo guy myself, or even a salami. I don't even really like salami that much. But honestly, it tastes so good on a grilled cheese. Like, you wouldn't think it would, especially coming from somebody who doesn't like salami that much as it is. But it's so good. Definitely give it a shot. It's worth it, I promise. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for this podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see what the Milk podcast brings us next year. Maybe I shall try some vegan milk products, and we'll see how that goes, I guess. So anyways, though, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next Milk podcast, or the next live stream, whatever comes first. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.